So we're here visiting Hawaii, and we're on the North Shore of Oahu, visiting my two daughters who are here going to school on the island. And with my ostomy, I have to be careful about no cliff diving, or even the surf is really big, so I have to be careful about going in. But the thing I've been thinking about today, Brene Brown taught me something that helps with my worrying and anxiety and stress. And it's about how our brain works. And when we experience something, we think back and someone say, hey, tell me what happened. We tell a story, right? And the story is something we create, something we live, something we experience. But what Brene Brown pointed out is our brain fills in gaps in our stories. We don't always have all the information. We don't always know what everything means, or what people mean by what they say or do or don't do. And if you think of your cancer experience, it's full of stories like this. And I used to think, well, my story is my experience, it's what happened. But what she taught me was your brain fills in the gaps, so it's not necessarily true. So think of your story as your first draft. And I've taught university before, and when you look at first drafts of essays, for example, they're ugly. They're full of red ink, they're full of mistakes. You would never hand in a first draft, right? They're just ugly. So what she taught is think of your story that way. It's a first draft, which means you can improve upon it. If it's a story that's causing you stress or anxiety, you can take a look at it and create a second draft or a third draft, or a better draft. And then as you choose how to fill in missing information, that's where your values come into play, and where the experience of others come into play, perhaps to fill out the story, fill out the picture with more accurate information. Then you have a better story, hopefully one that's less stressful, less worrying, less anxiety. Because there are definitely things to worry about, but often we worry about things that we don't need to, right? So this insight helps me differentiate between the two. I don't need to worry about the things that aren't real, and I can save my worry for the important things perhaps. But either way, I worry less, right? Just to help you remember my thoughts, my story. Again, if you said, hey, what do you do? And I tell you a story, my story is my first draft. And I can come up with a better one. So that's my encouragement to you. Think of your story as your first draft. And if it's a stressful story, just remember that your brains fill in the gaps, and there could be an opportunity to come up with a better draft.